Okay, so today I want to talk to you about sales, specifically the volume of sales that you're bringing into your business. So, for those of you who are new, you may not know this. I used to work in timeshare sales and marketing for over 7 years. So, I have a ton of in real world and over the phone sales and marketing experience. I was top producer for 6 of those 7 years. And I also worked at a credit union before and brought both of the two branches I was with to top producers within our region. So I do know a thing or two about sales. So with that being said, are you selling? Are you honestly selling? Because part of your job, I know, I get it. You became a coach so you can help other people specifically with whatever it is that you do. Maybe it's to help heal their marriage. Maybe it's to help heal their relationship. Maybe it's inner child healing, whatever that may be. And you're like, well, that's not what I signed up for. I want you to listen, lean in. That's exactly what you signed up for. You sign up to be an entrepreneur. Being an entrepreneur requires you to market and sell. Okay. So maybe you played around with marketing a little bit, but I want you to get super honest. Okay. As of this recording right now, it is almost the end of the year. If you're not where you want to be, right? Yes, I teach manifestation, but I also teach co-creation. What does that mean? Are you doing your part? Or can you actively say, I have done my part to co-create the vision I had for 2024 for my business? Were you actively marketing? If you were struggling with marketing, did you invest in either coaching, either courses, a mentor, whatever that may be to help you sharpen that skill? Marketing is a skill. I truly believe anyone can learn that skill, but it is a skill. You develop it over time, but you have to work on it. Okay. The same with selling. Are you actively selling? Like I said, as of this recording, it is almost the end of the year. So if you had not run, like you decided not to opt out of Black Friday sale, totally fine. You decided to opt out of Cyber Monday sale, totally fine. But my question to you is, did you opt out that sale when you're not bringing in sales? I want you to listen to that again. Did you opt out of selling during that time period when you're not bringing in sales within your business? Okay. I know it sounds like I'm being hard on you, but I'm calling you forward into your leadership. This is part of our own radical self responsibility, our radical responsibility to ourselves as entrepreneurs, as business owners. Part of whatever it is, no matter what you decided to specialize in. I work with clients who are an organization coach, who are mentors to twin moms, who they have different things that you do. But no matter what it is, no matter what niche you serve in, you have to do those things. That's part of your role. You have to market, you have to sell, and you have to do it daily. That's not what you want to hear. You want to hear that Michelle's going to say, I can take my laptop, I can go to the beach because I always see pictures of her at the beach, and she's just going to chillax, hang out with her kids, or head over to the mountains. But what you have to understand is I'm not, when you're in the build stage, there is work, there is masculine structure that has to be in place for your business to work. And they become habits that you develop over time. So that way, your business continues to grow, it continues to multiply. If you're in my academy, you know I talk so much about multiplication. Multiplication is where wealth, that's where true wealth from your business, from and really the resources pulled together really come through is through multiplication. right? But multiplication can't happen if you're not doing your part. And I get it. There's a lot of blocks you may be working through. If that's you and you're going through a lot of things emotionally and you need someone to process it with you, I help you process those things through so that way you can be clear enough to see the vision. Then we take the next aligned action that is inspired so that way you can step into your role as co-creator. So if you need help clearing those blocks, I want you to snag up one of my proximity sessions where it's you and me one-on-one, and we're going to help you clear those blocks. We're going to get to the root of it. We're going to clear it. We're going to move through it. So that way you can be cleared up, freed up, see the vision, take the inspired action, and co-create. Okay? Because believe it or not, that part, once you can clear that up, that part, once you have that next step and you do your part, you're going to start seeing fruit in your business. I'm not a business coach. I'm not here to like I don't I what do they do? I think they help you with creating your LLCs and mapping out your plans. They have MBAs. That's typically what a business coach does. I don't have an MBA. I'm not a business coach. I can only speak from my experience, having ran my own business, having also my experience in sales. So I could speak to you from that experience, more so like from my own business and then from having experience in sales is that you have to sell. If you want to close a client, you still have time. You honestly have, you still have so much time. Maybe you're getting a little nervous. It's towards the end of the year. I really want you to think about, okay, the year is coming towards the end. I want to finish strong, or I want to finish by closing one client in order to figure out, okay, in order for me to close a client, what is my current conversion rate? So your conversion rate is how many clients do I have to speak to in order for me to close them, right? So if you're talking like 10% and you speak to 10 clients, you're closing one. But if you're not speaking to any clients, it's really hard to close clients if you're not speaking to anyone. Okay, I'm just being honest with you. So if you're doing high ticket, the fastest way to that is going to be you having conversation with someone. So that can easily bring you in. I don't know what you want to price your package at, 2K, 5K, 10K, whatever that may be. If they do a pay in full, if they do a payment plan, but you can at least bring in that one client, if that's your goal, or two clients, whatever that may be. But I want you to think, it's like, okay, between now and in a year, without you putting a ton of pressure on yourself, without you feeling like, oh my God, I don't know if it's possible. I don't know if I can actually do this. I want you to think, okay, what is it that I actually want at the end of this month? Year in close, December 31st. What would help me to feel so good? Like I did my part. I really went all in. Have you been, maybe it's organic marketing. Maybe you don't have money for ads. Totally fine. Push out content. A ton of content. I'm talking like a ton of content because right now, instead of studying and scrolling, I've been there. We're studying. We're like, oh, this is how you do this. Da da da. Have you seen my last reels? I'm telling you right now, the ones that made me the most money were the ones that were completely unplanned. It was like the most random things, like a picture of this person saying this thing, and here's like the screenshot or whatever it is. Like it made no sense whatsoever. But it all compounds, and that's what you're looking for. You're looking for that compound effect. Right now, you don't have any compound effect because you haven't actually been marketing. You haven't been showing up. Okay. I'm going to drop a video for you to help activate within you if you need to like kind of clear some of those things up. Again, highly recommend that you book the one-on-one proximity session. It's only one session. We're going to help you clear things up. We're going to help you get that breakthrough because you need clarity so that way you can take your next steps. I'm going to help you with your next steps. That's the reason you get that week of Voxer support so that way you take your next aligned action. Okay. Every single person who's done a session with me will tell you without a doubt that they have been clear on what that next step is. It's not me holding your hand. It's me pulling you, pulling that empowered feminine within you, shaking you a little bit. And it's like, hey, radical self-responsibility. Are you showing up fully for your business? Is this what you want? You can decide, I don't want to have a business. Totally fine. That's okay. But you need to be honest with yourself. Do I love my job? Okay. If you love your job, amazing. You don't have a job, then you can go out and get one. But if you're serious about being entrepreneurship, I'm going to tell you right now, I've created other videos on this. I can link to it for you. Entrepreneurship is going to, if you feel stressed now, it's going to stretch that even more. That's why I talk about expanding your emotional capacity for more because entrepreneurship is going to stretch you. You're going to have waves. We're talking like the roller coaster where you're starting because everything is dependent on you. Nothing is going to call you forward more into your leadership than being an entrepreneur. Because where you can kind of get away with it at a typical job where maybe you don't have habits in place, maybe you're not that self-disciplined. And we're not even really talking about self-discipline here. We're just making sure that you show up for your people. Just making sure you show up for yourself. You said you want to do this thing. Hey, did you show up today for yourself? You said, hey, I want to run a business. Hey, I want to help these people. I love what I do. I really want to impact lives. Amazing. Did you impact lives today? I'm not being like mean or confronting. I'm honestly asking a question. If you can be that honest with yourself and say, did I show up to do the thing I said I was going to do today? Did I show up for the people I said I was going to show up for today? You can answer that question honestly. You'll know if you are fully showing up as the empowered feminine that has that deep desire to serve others and you're coming from this place of service because you're showing up for others. And more importantly, you're showing up for yourself. You're keeping your promises to yourself. I've been there where I would break promises to myself. I'm not going to do that today. Do Netflix. Oh, I'll do this tomorrow. Da da da. All the reasons. All the reasons. But if you truly, this is what you really, really want, and you got to dig in deep. Is this something I really, really, really want? Because if it's not, that's okay. But I want you to get honest with yourself. I don't want you to create another year come December 31st and say, oh, you know what? This year didn't work out. We'll just start over next year. Because how you live your life next year is going to be the reflection of everything that you have gone through this past year and the year before if you do not pull the lessons from it. You have to pull the lessons from it and say, okay, am I happy with how I showed up? If not, what needs to change so that way I show up differently? Not next year. You don't need to wait until December 31st to say, I'm going to start showing up. Because if you do that, you're just going to keep delaying because it's easier. It's easy to delay. You know what? I just wait. I just wait until 3 weeks. What's happening in 3 weeks? That first 2 weeks, you're going to be like, ah, new year. I feel so good. I'm energized. And then what happens? What happened last year in January, mid-January, after you get that initial rush, excitement, energy, 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 energy? Things didn't start working out. And you're like, oh, 2025 is a wash. Let's start 2026. But you see how you keep delaying it. You have to decide. You want to create a vision for your life. You be honest. Be honest about what it is that you want. Not for me. Don't care about what I think. Care about what other thing. What do you actually want? Is this what you want? Do you want to grow a business? Do you want to have consistent sales coming in? Do you want to get a steady job and work there? Do you want to maybe switch careers? But you like the stability or desire the stability right now. There's nothing wrong. I'm going to repeat that. There is nothing wrong with a 9 to 5 job at all. At all. Everyone's so different. I've had a 9 to 5, you know. And you know what? It wasn't when I left my job. I think a lot of people think, oh, she hated corporate, all these things. I loved my job. I loved my coworkers. But I loved the vision I had more. You hear that? I love the vision I had more, and I knew God was calling me to something greater and bigger. In order for me to fulfill on that, and be the torchbearer for that vision. I had to let go and release. And that was hard. There was a grieving process for me because I loved my coworkers and I actually really enjoyed what it was that I did. So there's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5, but what I don't want is for you to feel like you're stuck in a 9 to 5 and you can't transition over to a full-time business, or for you to feel like I need to have a business so that way I feel worthy of. So what is it within you that feels like I need to be an entrepreneur so that way I feel loved, I feel good enough, I feel like I finally feel happy? Because if you're putting a lot of pressure on your business to give you that fulfillment. And I know I'm gonna sound super Christian here. I say honestly, for me, that fulfillment comes from God. It's not gonna come from my business because that's putting a ton of pressure on my business to give me that fulfillment that I desire. And it would never do that. But if I desire time freedom and emotional freedom, financial freedom, I know that's something my business will give me that no job could. And that for me is the reason why I am I mean, my business is my full-time job, and I treat it like a full-time job. And what I'm inviting you into is calling you forward into your leadership and saying, hey, is this your full-time job too? Amazing. I want you to show up for it like it's your full-time job. Because if you chose to be an entrepreneur, this is a job and you got to show up for it. You got to show up for your people. You got to show up for yourself. And a lot of you aren't doing that. I know because I was the same way. This isn't me frowning upon you, making you feel bad. This is me simply saying, hey, I've been there too. And hold on, sister, I'm going to help pull you up too. And we're going to do this together. All right. So I hope that pep talk ignites something in you that encourages you. If it's one thing I can leave you with, it's have I been showing up in a way where I feel so good? Like if I was to go to sleep tonight, at the end of the night, I'm like, I showed up for myself today. Brush my shoulders off. I showed up for my people today. I served others the way I said I was going to. I took that one closer step towards whatever that is. Because my hope and desire for you is, if you want a profitable and sustainable business that you are actively marketing, actively selling your services, because you're the face of your brand, you got to show up. And if you need help with that, I would love to support you. You can, you know, right now I have a special going on. You could check out my one-on-one proximity session. It's one session. We're going to help you clear that right up, help you get clarity, take the next aligned action, and then you get a week of Voxer support where I really help you to be held accountable. And then as you get stuck, I can help you move through that. And then, of course, if you're just looking more for sales support and you're like, I know what I'm supposed to do, I just need someone to help me with some my sales process, moving through that, I would absolutely love to help support you in any way. So yeah, I will catch you next time, friends. I hope this was helpful for you. And here's to more sales.